Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Connect Africa. Here is the hour where we look at a couple of news from the continent, and we bring you the report to you. So the first thing is Namibia has elected its first female president. So we are going to look at that. Secondly, Orano, the French company, mining company called Orano, now is losing its operational control in Niger's uranium, business. Another thing we will look at also outside of Africa, what's happening with Apple, in which Apple is forced to invest $1 billion in Indonesia in order for the Apple 16 or iPhone 16 to be its ban to be lifted up. And the last one will be the African Airlines. According to reports, this year it was, in terms of global air cargo market, it was the slowest for African Airlines. Well, at least that's what the report says. So first thing is first, we are going to look at the Namibia's president, the first female president. She is not the first in Africa. The first is actually Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who was, Liberia's president. Now, Namibia's president, her name is Nandi Nidatiwa and Netumbo Nandi Nidatiwa. That is her name, all N. Now, there are a few things that we are going to bring you, what you don't know about her. In terms of political party, she represents the Southwest Africa's People Organization. In its acronym name, it's called SWAPO, Party of Namibia. It's a political party and former also independence movement in the country. It was founded in 1960. It has been the ruling party in Namibia since the country has achieved its independence in 1990. As you know, the Southern African countries has achieved their independence much later than the rest of the continent, in which most of the countries in Africa has got their independence in the end of 1950s and in the beginning of 1960s. But for example, South Africa is 1994, now Namibia is 1990. Southern Africa is slower than the other. Of course, there are various factors for that. Now, who is Namibia's President Netumbo Nandi Nidatiwa, or they call her also, you have all the hashtag called NNN because all her name is, all the three names starts with N. So Namibia's president is, or I think I should call her from now on, President Netumbo. She is 72 years old, and she is serving already as a current vice president. So that is her victory will extend now. Her party, the ruling party, SWAPO's, already 34 years in power since 1990. That led also independence from apartheid South Africa in 1990. Now, she received roughly 57% of valid votes in the presidential race, according to a breakdown done or given by the Electoral Commission of Namibia. And President Netumbo needed to secure more than 50% of the votes to secure a win, which she did. Now, so the question to answer, who is President Netumbo Nandi Nidatiwa? So she joined, first of all, the political party SWAPO in the 1960s when it was fighting for independence, and has served numerous senior roles, including as a foreign minister in the democratic era and also now as a vice president. President Nitombo is currently the vice president of SWAPO. She's the current president of SWAPO party and the Republic of Namibia. She was born in the northern village of Ona Mutai in Namibia, of course, and she's married to Epaphras Denganidatiwa, a former chief of the defense force, with whom she has three sons. Let me try to, I'm just talking, but let me try to share a picture of her, which will help us, this is her. Okay, this is her. Now, other things, let me continue to tell you who is President Netumbo. She is said to become the first woman president of Namibia. She's also a devoted Christian who believes in the mantra, one heart, one mind. She's a versatile leader, detained, exiled, and exposed to various high-level political positions and responsibilities within the SWAPO party and ministerial positions over an uninterrupted period of 57 years. So her political journey started actually at 14 years old, when she was 14 years old in school. Ask that now what we were doing when we were 14 years old. Okay, but for that was apartheid. It was most of the young people who were leading the movements. And many has taken part. Many, of course, have also given their lives for the movement. Another thing that what we can tell you about President Nitembo, let me put her picture, is that she's a very vocal, she's people-centered, a team player, and ethical leader. She's an ethical, political, and national leader of high moral standards and unquestionable integrity. She's a trailblazer. She's a devoted Pan-Africanist and champion of the African Continental Free Trade Area. This is where Us Connect Africa, gets us interested, of course. She's also a result-oriented leader. President Nitombo holds a master's degree in diplomatic studies from the University of Kile in UK, a diploma in international relations, and a postgraduate diploma in public administration and management from Glasgow College of Technology in Scotland, and holds a diploma on the work and practice of the Communist Youth League of the Soviet Union, the Komsomol, from the Lenin High Komsomol School in Moscow, USSR. President Nitombo is also a recipient of numerous accolades like Namibia's Order of the Eagle, Order of Francisco de Miranda, Primera Class Venezuela, and an honorary doctorate from the University of Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. She's a seasoned diplomat and public administrator with unquestionable wealth of experience. She's also well known at national and international levels. She's a champion for women and children rights, peace, and security. An ardent, also she's an advocate for environmental preservation and protection. She's a strong advocate for Africa and Namibia to meaningfully participate in the global era. So that is in short who President Nitombo is. Actually, right now, as we speak, we have, I don't know when her inauguration to take over power, because she's already now the vice president in Namibia. But we have two presidents. That in that case, if she's taking power now in 2024, formally, I mean officially, then we will have two sitting female presidents in the continent. One is the Tanzanian president, President Samia Suluhu, and now the president of Namibia. But before all that, there was the president of Liberia, Ellen Sir Joseph, who was also president of Liberia from 2006 to 2018. That is in a modern, so-called modern democratic era. But apart from that, we have the continent. I mean, don't take me wrong, the continent has been laid and run by kingdom before the kingdom comes. So, for example, I can mention the Queen of Sheba in Ethiopia, Queen of Nefertiti in Egypt. You have Queen Poku of Akan, the Akan tribe in Ivory Coast. You have the Queen of Asantewa in the Ashanti Empire in Ghana, and many others. So that is really important to bear in mind. It's not like for the first time Africa got a woman president or whatever for the third time. This is strictly speaking in the so-called modernization period or in democratic era as elected president. Other than that, we have queens that that were queens that run, the warriors also who were in the battlefield. I forgot there's also one from Uganda, but a very famous one. Anyway, that's as far as Namibia is concerned. Now, let's move to the next news, which is, Orano, which is a French mining company, has lost its operational control in Niger's uranium mining. Let me share this quickly to you. So that I'm gonna go through it. So this is Orano, French nuclear fuels group. Orano has announced the loss of operational control over its Somer uranium mine in Niger, citing, interference by Nigerian authorities and governance breakdowns at the site. I mean, the truth is that they have not been operational since the revolution happened in Niger. That was why the government of Niger has revoked their permissions. They have been invited, they have been given a warning, but they didn't, because their government told them to pack and go, because they didn't want to operate when the revolution happened. I mean, the French military has been kicked, the French embassy has been closed. So the French military, as you know, in the Sahel, it's to protect French business, what the French government is extracting from the region. So if the military is kicked, who is going to protect them? I mean, sooner or later, of course, these revolutionary leaders in the Sahel, they are after, taking control of their own natural resources. And there's no way that it will continue, that the mining company getting 60% or 80%, and the Niger government or the people of Niger getting 20% or 40%. That era has come to an end. So they know what is coming. So they have left. And even if they were given a warning, they didn't come and start operation. So it was after all this process that their permission was revoked. Okay, so let's continue. The development marks the latest challenge, meaning this development of Orano losing its operational control. It marks the latest challenge for foreign companies operating in the Western African nation. They say it's not a suitable business climate, this and that. But these are, of course, also media platforms that just copy paste from the mainstream media, who do not do their analysis. For example, I am reading you the article from Nairametrics. Nairametrics is a Nigerian online media where they publish news, and it's West Africa is just next to them, and they can do a better thing than what France 24 or other means or what BBC reports to us. I mean, they have all the privilege and the advantage to make a research, to send their reporter, even on a driving basis. It's Niger and Nigeria share a long border, so you can bring to the people a better news or research based news as opposed to the mainstream media. So that being said, let's see if there is anything really. Okay, Orano, which owns a majority stake of over 60% in Somer, disclosed on Wednesday that board decisions are no longer being observed. So this follows months of escalating tensions and the suspicion of uranium production last year after Niger halted exporters. Reuters first reported, yes, Niger halted exporters because they want to increase the royalty on top of it. I mean, this mineral is extracted from their country and the price is set somewhere else, and their royalty payment is decided by someone else. All these things has to change. I mean, until when you expect someone, you just extract the place. I mean, that's impossible. I think that the continuation, this is what Orano said, quote, the continuation of production expenses is further exasperating the financial difficulties of the company. Now, Niger, what you have to know, is a significant player in the global uranium market, contributing approximately 4% of worldwide output. Uranium is a critical input for nuclear energy, and the country has long been a key supplier for Orano at full capacity. Niger accounted 15% of Orano's uranium needs, because Orano has also in different parts of the world other mining. What we know is that, like, while the suspension of exports from Niger has disrupted traditional supply chains, Orano has sought to mitigate the impact by ramping up production at its mines in Canada and Kazakhstan. The company asserts that these adjustments have fully offset the shortfall from Niger, ensuring continuity in uranium supply. So that's why, when the Niger government has called Orano to come and resume operations, that Orano didn't come. It tells you that they have been outsourcing this in other countries. Although Niger is one of the main countries in Africa in uranium producing as a raw material, there are in the world also there are other countries like China, like Canada, like Kazakhstan, and others. But the thing is that mostly Canada has also other minerals, but they like always first to extract what Africa has, and so that they go back to some of these Western countries. Even they have the mineral. I'm not sure in Europe if there's any mineral, but in other countries they have the mineral, but still they prefer to come and first finish or extract as much as possible these raw materials from Africa, and then they will have all the advantage to set the price and everything. So that is as far as Orano's mining company is concerned. Although uranium, I mean, Niger is a contributor of 4% of uranium globally. What you have to know is Niger's uranium is responsible for all the lighting of Europe. I think around 35%. So, but whereas Nigerian people, more than 80% lives in darkness. That's how the situation is bad. Next, our stop is the news in which were the African Airlines in the year 2024. It was the slowest growth in global air cargo market. So this is the latest data from, let me stop sharing this. So this is the latest data from International Air Transport Association, IATA, reveals that African Airlines recorded the slowest growth in the global air cargo market. That's now their assessment as of October 2024. In terms of numbers, so it's only a 2% market share globally. Also, increased trade route figures were associated with a rising e-commerce demand in the US and Europe amid ongoing capacity limits in ocean shipping. So Asia Pacific and North American carriers were the largest contributors to the industry's annual CTK's growth with 46.1% and 26% respectively. The IATA latest analysis covers the global and regional air cargo market based on the year-on-year comparative traffic and capacity during October. So they compared October 2024 versus last year, 2023. The report also highlighted a low market share with African carriers contributing only 2% of the global air cargo market. So that's as far as the African Airlines is concerned. The last one will be, it's outside of Africa, but it's interesting. Apple said Indonesia is actually the one saying, so Apple must invest $1 billion in Indonesia for iPhone 16 ban to be lifted, which is an amount that is 100 times higher than the company's initially proposed figure. This is how we want our heads of states in Africa to be firm and vocal, negotiating with these world superpowers and big private companies. Now let's see the reason why Indonesia is saying that. So the investment minister expects Apple to invest the 1 billion amount within the week for the iPhone 16 ban to be lifted. One of the reasons why Apple has been barred from selling the iPhone 16 in Indonesia is because it previously used to make routine investments in the country, allowing for opportunities to thrive there. Unfortunately, that came to stop forcing the government to act since October 2024. All iPhone 16 models have been banned until the investment arrives. Apple attempted to appease the government with 10 million figure. Oh my God. But that plan failed miserably, so the firm tried to make amends by upping that amount to 100 million. Indonesia still saying, no, you have to invest $1 billion. So sadly, even the amount appeared to be negligible because the Indonesian lawmakers want Apple to invest $1 billion in the country, making it 100 times higher than what is proposed by what's proposed by Apple. As reported, with the information spotted by Apple Insider, Investments Minister of Indonesia, Roslani, stated publicly that he expected the investment amount from Apple within a week, but did not highlight any repercussions if the Cupertino Titan would not keep its word. So the investments minister reasoning is simple. If Apple is benefiting from iPhone 16 sales in Indonesia, then it must also to invest in the region to create jobs. Well done to the investment minister of Indonesia, really, and to the government of Indonesia. That is the way to go. That is the way to go, okay? all these companies, they come. For example, the Lobito, yesterday we talked about Lobito corridor project, right, in which Biden even still struggling to walk just 2 weeks 3 weeks before his departure. He's going out as an outgoing president, and still came to Angola, and it is that much important for him. But look at our heads of states welcoming and talking about as if this big business for Angola will do this. It has nothing to do. All it does is it just extracts your cobalt and coppers from DRC and Zambia, and then ship it from Lobito port of Angola. That's what it does. Why not the president of Angola? Why not the president of DRC and President Tshisekedi and President Hichilema of Zambia and President Lorenzo of Angola? These are three big giant heads of states. You know, if you look at the natural resources, the manpower they possess, and where that's how Africa is important to the West, and sit down and tell Joe Biden, no, you have to set up a refinery that refines lithium, that refines copper, that refines cobalt. You cannot just extract raw materials from our countries. That's it, done. Otherwise, we don't ship it to your country. We don't allow you to mine. It's very simple. He was there. Biden was there at the National Slavery Museum. What was it called? National Museum of Slavery. Yeah, making a speech. And I was watching it late night last night. And what did he was proposing $1 billion investment. What is that 1 billion? This is bullshit. What is the GDP of Angola? What is the GDP of DRC? What is the GDP of Zambia? This is all an insult to this region, an insult in a bigger to Africa as well, not only to these three countries. Why not telling the man what he needs to do? These are important things for their new energy industry. The whole world is shifting to electric, and they need it. They need it. You have the ball on your court, and you can set that negotiation, but you didn't. And look at Indonesia, what they're doing. This is why, although it's not related to Africa, why I wanted to bring it to you. Okay. So the minister told him, if Apple is benefiting from the sale of iPhone 16 in Indonesia, then you have to create a job, invest $1 billion. That's it. Otherwise, we're banning iPhone 16. And they did. It's still banned. They are giving Apple a week. So Indonesia does hold some importance for the company, as it shipped around 2.9 million units in 2023, and that number seems to be climbing. Additionally, seeing as how the Trump administration continues to enforce trade sanctions on China, Apple may soon view Indonesia as a manufacturing base like India and Vietnam, though it has yet to comment on Rosen's on the investment minister's latest remarks. So it's in Apple's, of course, best interest to resume iPhone 16 sales in Indonesia and in multiple countries as much as it can. And the $1 billion investment can also turn into a future opportunity where the company receives some concessions from the government, such as importing raw materials, whatever the possibilities might be. Well, I mean, from what we saw now, I really don't think Indonesia will allow that, but let's see. So stay tuned. If there's any development, we will bring it to you. Thank you very much for tuning in. That was it for our daily recap on what's happening in Africa. So next, right after I am out of this live stream, we are going to the next live stream with Kwame Gonza, analyzing Joe Biden's visit to Angola and for what. We will go deep into it. So stay tuned. Thanks again. Please share the video with others. Give it a like and subscribe to the channel. You may please support us through our PayPal account. You can find it in the description section. Mamale Ramasodi, hello, Queen, how are you? I thank you also for your presence here. I mean, your time, you guys, family here, your time here will, it means a lot more than anything. So thank you so much for that. So please, Sister Mamale, continue on the next live stream. We are going to, analyze Joe Biden's presidency in Joe Biden's presence or visit in Angola. Augusto Mudombe, hello, I see you. Thank you for all your support. Really, so share the video with others as well. And I'll see you on the next live stream right after I go out from here. Ciao, ciao for me for now. Bye.